Testing. Hold on, let me go on there. Make sure microphone has sound. Yo. Let me see here. Instrument mic. Mic on, phones not on. Do. Let me see here. Yo. All right, I got sound. You'll hear an echo for a minute. Custom emojis. Hey, what's popping? Hey, I'm just on live, so I want people to see how package. There's that Machamp. Puddles won the Machamp. You see this folder I made? These are polycarbonate folders. Like Puddles. If you see this, because I know you're not on the live right now. If you see this, take your card out of here, and then take this folder and try to smash it with a hammer. Just beat the crap out of it and see if you could break it. See how hard you have to try to break this. Just so you know how protected your cards are when I ship cards. Especially like ones like these. I only do like high dollar cards in these ones. Everything else I'll put in a tin or top loaders in a cardboard folder. So that's going out to Puddles. I actually got to weigh it. I got a scale chilling here. And then I got to type up, hold on. 2.74 ounces. Not even that heavy. That'll ship for like $3.49. Can y'all hear me? I know I heard myself when I went on my phone to check my stream, but I want to be sure. I'm using this here microphone. Good old Blue Boy. I need a different stand for it because it wants to tip over. I got it it's got 3 legs on it. I got the mic like leaning into the leg, but it'll work for now. A bot call. I sold my Umbreon that I pulled too. $200 raw. I think that's going to be a PSA 10 though. I'm not going to lie. But I don't want to wait a year or pay that kind of price to get it graded. So, I'll just have to try my luck on another pull. Which probably won't happen. Hey! These dang dogs are wild. But I need the money. I need the money for vintage cards. I pull more modern cards and then I sell them. I'm not interested in those for myself. Someone else can have them. But I'm more interested in my Vinties. My vintages. Even though I'm giving one away. But that's just for the community, you know. And I don't have another Machamp. That was my last one. I had two, but it is what it is. I'll find another one. I will find another one. But I am keeping my Celebrations Charizard. I thought I was going to sell it, but I'm like, nah, I'll just keep it. I want to get that one graded for sure. But I don't know if I'll go through PSA or if I'll figure out if HGA is like a good company to go through. I'm kind of just like looking at their whole model and how they do things, and I'm just kind of seeing how popular they get first. I know that's probably like dumb because then they're gonna get too popular, and then their queue is gonna be sold out every week. Because like the cool thing about HGA is they only allow so much per week or a period of time, and then they close off until they get those done, and then they open back up again with that same amount to sell again. So that's a cool thing that they're doing. And I know PSA is kind of a little bit too far out of range for doing that now because they've got such a backlog. It's like almost impossible for them to even start doing that. But yeah, I was just getting on just to kind of show the card and how it's going to be shipped. And kind of test out my live capabilities. I'm trying to still figure out Streamlabs. Like it's giving me a lot of problems because I'm on a Mac. So I think it would be easier if I was on a Windows. Because every time I try to go live on Streamlabs, it tells me, or it takes me to the actual webpage of YouTube and just has me do a regular live. Kylo, knock it off. My big dog's picking on my little dog. Anyway, so I'll probably get going. I mean, I just wanted to do that real quick. I got some things to ship now. I got to go to the post office, get ready, all that kind of stuff. So, hey, thanks for joining up real quick, watching the process, helping me test out my lives. And hopefully I can figure out Streamlabs at some point. Or I might start doing it now. I'll just wait to go ship this stuff, but I kind of should ship it as soon as possible. But yeah. Hey, we'll see you guys around. Someone just jumped in here though. What's going on? I want to give you an opportunity to speak. Oh, now I'm up to 4 viewers. Hey, what's up, people? I thought I was going. But if new people will jump in, I just kind of want to say hi. I don't want to just dip out on you. Razor! Yo, what's going on? You see who won? You see who won the Machamp? Good old Puddles. Wasn't it, Razor, you were there, wasn't it Puddles who gave me his vintage cards out of his bag on Kyle's stream? I think it was. Oh, where's that light? That would probably help out immensely. Just to kind of have it. Boy, I don't even know where to set this thing. I just put it around my microphone. How's that looking? Yeah, Puddles won the card. I think it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before. I think it was Puddles that had his bag. He gave his bag away. He was like, take all the vintage out, give him the 10, and then gave the rest of the cards away, I guess, in some kind of drawing, I think. Yeah, I don't remember fully either. That's why I'm trying to figure it out. I'm pretty sure it was. That's too dang bright there. There we go. Anyway, here's my best cards though. I want to show everybody. So you're looking at that first edition Pichu. This one I picked up $30. And this thing is so mint. I couldn't believe it when I pulled it out of the sleeve in the shop. Because I was like, oh man, it looks super scratched. I think I've told the story before. But I was like, wow, that looks pretty bad. And I was like, can I take it out of the sleeve? Yeah. Can I take it out of the sleeve? They're like, oh yeah. I took it out. Dude, this thing is so clean. The hollow's clean. Like the back of it, like there's no whiting on the back of it. The hollow's not even scratched. The centering's pretty dang good too. I was amazed for $30. This one's gonna get graded at some point. This one's not gonna grade any. This will probably grade like an 8 or a 7. But this one will probably go for a 9. I'll probably get that graded. It's a card shop I'm no longer gonna shop at. I'll tell you that much. I won't even tell their name anymore. Yeah, that was a good deal, but the way that they're selling new sealed products just kind of pissed me off. So I stopped going there. Because I asked them, I was like, hey, when you guys getting celebrations in? And they were like, oh, ours are late, so it's going to be a while. I was like, okay, well, how much are your ETBs going to be? And they're like, 120. Get the frick out of here. You want to lose business? That's how you're going to do it. I know what you're getting these ETBs for. I'm not stupid. I know what they're going for from distributors to the card shops. I'm not stupid. And you're going to charge 120? Exactly. 120 is, dude, that made me rethink hating on people for selling them for 80. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wait up, is this getting worse? Is this just, and they're not hard to get. The ETBs aren't hard to get. I can find those all over the place. I found 2 at Walmart the other day. When Target does their restocks, they put like 100 of them out at least. So it's not that hard to find if you just want to wait and go try to catch them on their drops. That's what I'm saying. They're $49.99, $50. That's too much, bro. Here's another card. You see that? That's our celebrations. I pulled that out of an ETB that I got from Target. I'll have a better camera too. This is my FaceTime camera from my computer, so it's kind of junky. But I have a Nikon. I just got to set it up. I'm trying to set it up through Streamlabs, and Streamlabs is giving me problems. I also pulled that from an ETB. Best ETBs ever made. I've never pulled that much good stuff out of ETBs. And then here's my Evo. This one's so off center. Look at that. You can see that right by my finger. Look how thin that line is. So off center. And mine has a print line. I looked at my son. He has one as well. I saw that. Yeah, I saw you got that one. Mine has a big old print line on it. I looked at my son's. His is center, no print line. Because my son pulled one of these as well. The Evos are crazy. Let me text my wife back. And Evolutions is like one of my favorites right now. After base set and like Neo Genesis, like those card ranges, Evolutions is my next favorite. Oh, I didn't show you the other one I got. That one's still sealed. Untouched by human fingers. The Ancient Mew. This was one of my cards I had in my collection. I opened mine. I actually got mine from the movie theater when I went to go watch the Pokemon movie with my dad, my sister, and my stepmom. And we got those cards from there. So it's good to have it back. Well, one of them, not my original one. I paid $30 for this too. This was at a different shop. This is a shop I'll actually go back to. The one I got this from. Because you can haggle the prices with them and everything. Like it's like they just want product moving at all times. So they will drop their prices for you. Well, hey, keep getting on my giveaways, man. I'm gonna give away some celebrations tins. So there's gonna be they're not sealed tins, they're all doubles and stuff that I've got. So I put them back in the celebrations tins, and those will be given away soon. I'll be listing those. I'll do a video. Maybe not today, but soon, maybe tomorrow. And I'll have those. I'll set them for like 2 weeks out because I want plenty of people to like get on the giveaways, you know. Yeah, I just got in a couple. I've been in for like what's it, 3 months now. I've been doing this again, and I've got a pretty decent collection for myself. I mean, I had a couple of duh. So I got that too, Japanese, but I'm trying to get one in English. I got to get one in English. I probably won't ever find a first edition in English. That's for sure. But I'll be. That's my Neo Lugia. That's one in my case behind my Game Boy Pokemon game. Which one is that? The one with Lugia on the front of it, obviously. I gave a Brock's Grit to Max VMAX. Out of Evo. I don't want all the cards out of Evolution set. I want all the ones that look like base set cards. Is basically what I want. Like when I get all the base set looking cards, then that'll be a complete set to me. But as far as like the megas and all them, those aren't really my chase cards. I've pulled them. I pulled the two. I pulled the two Charizards in a row out of some tins I bought, and I spent way too much money. I paid scalper prices for them things. A little beat. Yeah. Some of my cards are pretty beat up. I still got a Raichu, Fossil Raichu, a Wigglytuff, all base set stuff. I've got Articuno, Lapras. I got a Hitmonchan that's got like a big old, like this whole side of the card is like cut off. Like just the top layer of the card. You can see the back is still there, but like the whole front top layer of the card is just like cut off at like an angle, like it goes up like that. It's crazy. It came in a big pack of cards I bought off of somebody. They were like all in plastic bags, just chilling. And that's where this Machamp came from that I gave away. That was still wrapped in the original wrapper, but I unwrapped it because I thought it was scratched. See, I was at like Gen 3. I think I was at Gen 3 when I started getting out of it. And then I wasn't like fully into Gen 3 at all when I was getting out of the hobby. And then now I'm back in it and there's like what is there, 8? How many gens are there now? There's a lot. I know there's like what 900 different Pokemon now, 889 or something like that. I don't even know. I got to get up on the news though. Like it's kind of hard to like kind of go from both ends learning about Pokemon. Like you're trying to pick up where you left off, and then you're like trying to learn all the new stuff at the same time, and just kind of trying to learn like this going inward, and then trying to figure it out. And then by the time you do this, something new is going to come out over here, and you're going to be like, wait a minute, I gotta get on that and learn that too. So it's just there's a lot to soak in, and I'm but one sponge. And I got to get back in the gym too. Like I've been slacking since I started. I haven't worked out once for 3 months. You could tell. Freaking shrunk. Not only that, I started eating junk food again. Has a Charizard EX in somewhat good condition. Um, which two Zards did I pull? I had the Mega Charizard and the Alt Art, I think it was, or the Full Art. I had the one where he's like up like this and like he has his head turned, and it's textured. So that's the Full Art, right? The Full Arts are always textured these days. And then the other one where, what did that one look like? I think I still have pictures of it. Oh yeah. So I had this one. I pulled these in a row, and then that one. I pulled both of them back to back out of 2 separate tins. I was so hyped up about those, but I sold them because those aren't my chase cards. Plus, I spent too much money on them. I had to get my money back somehow. I was like, man, There's $360 I spent for 20 tins. I'm gonna have to write those off of my taxes because that was way too much money. And then to come to find out, they were still dropping them at Walmart. I bought tins for $9. A20s and K19s. They still have XY evolutions in them. And I found those multiple times. And that's what happens when you want to buy something and you think you're not going to be able to get it. You buy and then you spend all that money and then you turn around and you find them for regular price. That's how it goes. That is how it goes. Let me put some of these cards back. So it goes. Anyway, so that Evo Zard, I kept a pack that goes with it. Ooh. Yeah, I saw somebody selling an unlimited base set booster box. They wanted like he said like 10 grand. I was like 10 grand. I was like, all right, can you send me pictures of the box? Because I want to verify. Oh, this was already he kept like sidestepping the question. I was like, and then he deleted his account on OfferUp. I was like, yeah, you're a fraud, dude. If I ever see you again, best believe. Fern. See, I'm not people. I don't know. I don't want to like get too controversial. It's just like people think like I'm gonna be some weak like Pokemon collector. Like I'll tell you guys right now. Like I'm not like I'm not like a super nice person. Like I mean I'm nice in my community with people that I'm cool with, but like I'll get down with somebody like scammers and stuff like that. Like that. If I ever met somebody and they try to scam me, I'd probably beat the crap out of somebody. I'd probably put hands on somebody. Like that's just I just can't deal with people like that. It sets me off. And that's just my upbringing. Like and I try not to be that way, but my upbringing, it's just how I grew up. I grew up in the streets, man. Like I was like half nerd and like half ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Like I always had comfort in being like nerdy, but like because of my family and my upbringing, like I was always that's what I had to kind of deal with was because I had a lot of family members that were in gangs and stuff like that. So I had to kind of be a part of that. I grew up on both sides of town. So like I grew up on the north side. Hey, Pokeballer Mike, you showed up in my stream. I grew up on the on in Henderson. Like there's Henderson like on the south side, and then like I grew up in Northtown, which is North Las Vegas. So like and going off north and south. Like I was on both ends of town because my parents weren't together. So my mom lived on one side, my dad lived on the other, and I lived in both poor neighborhoods in both sides of town. But Henderson's definitely a lot nicer. It's a lot safer, but there were still gangs out there. It's just depending on what side of Henderson you're in, and then Northtown was just all ghetto. It was like 100%, and that's where I learned a lot of bad things, and I've seen a lot of bad things, and I've experienced a lot of bad things. I've had people steal my bikes, steal my toys, stole my dogs. Like it was bad on the north side. That was the worst. Oh yeah, it's rough, man. LA's hard. LA's hardcore. And that's another story is like when I had my dog stolen, dude, I was torn up. I was young. I was like 8, 9 years old when that happened. And that dog, my German Shepherd, that was my best friend. And then the female one I had, they poisoned it, but she lived. She lived through it. But my main dog, and they stole the puppies because my dad was breeding them because they were purebreds, and they stole all the puppies. We never got any of the puppies back. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm standing out in the street, like just looking down the street, like hoping my dog comes home. And it was like a scene out of Homeward Bound. And my freaking dog came running around the corner and just looked at me. He stopped like he was like 300 feet down the end of the street, just looking at me from the end of the street. And like my heart sank. Dude, I couldn't even take it. I was crying like a baby. I was like, my dog came back after 2 weeks missing. Like that's unheard of. I miss that dog too. That was my best friend growing up. Had him since I was like 5, and he died when I was 13. And that, I'll tell you what, man, having purebred dogs, I've learned like I don't want to get attached to purebreds because they always have some kind of like genetic problem. Like when you get mutts, like mix, they're they seem to like breed out all those issues. Like German shepherds, like they're prone to hip dysplasia, and that's what my German shepherd had. Yeah, it's always good to get reunited with your pets. My German shepherd had hip dysplasia, and so like his back legs went out, so he was dragging himself around with his front legs, and finally had to put him down because it was just getting it was. But what upset me was my dad, and then they took him to put him down, and they didn't tell me while I was at my mom's house. So I was riding my bike around town because I would ride my bike all the way across town, and I came to go see my dog, and I was like, "What?" I was looking in the backyard. I was like, "Hey, he's not here." Nobody was home. I was like, "Where's my dog at?" And then I was like, "Oh man." I was like, "I bet they took him to get him put down." And so I sat there on the curb, and I was crying. Yeah, that's why I like because like I got a Great Dane. I don't know. I don't think he's purebred though because he's a little bit shorter than most Great Danes I've seen. But all of my mixed breed dogs, like they have no issues. Like I got a 16-year-old mixed. I don't even know what he is. I think he's like Malinois and something else, something real scrawny. He's mixed and he's 16 years going strong. He's still going. He's deaf, but he's going. And I got a big dog. He's a 130-pound Shepherd Mastiff mix, and he's going on 12 years old. That's like unheard of for dogs that big. Hey, thank you, Pokeballer Mike. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I was just getting on to show people my card I'm shipping out that for my giveaway. Dude, I had Chow Chows were like a big thing back in the 90s. Everybody had those in their backyard, and like those are hey, those dogs would get mean. Even the ones I knew, they were like mean. Like my grandma had one named Shadow. I can't remember the other ones, but Shadow because like you like how do you forget like the coolest looking black dog, like a black Chow? How do you forget those? And everybody knew Shadow, and they would always they're kind of like huskies, like they're like smart and they can like get out of anything, and like and Shiba Inus like they just like getting out. Dude, this Machamp here was nice when I got it. It was still in the original wrapper. It was one of the singles, short and buff. Yeah, Shih Tzu mix. He could have been big. He's stunted. Uh, but my Machamp is nice. Like it's got a little like curvature in the back of it, but it's super clean. It was single wrapped. I took it out of the wrapper though because I wasn't sure of its condition. It was hard to tell because that wrapper was beat to smithereens. Those wrappers are tough. They keep your cards protected. Well, here's one of my little guys. He's an old man too. Leo. Yeah, my dogs were busting out of their cages because I try to keep them cage trained for when we leave. Because otherwise, they'll just pee all over the house. Hello, Corina. Yeah, he's old. I don't know his exact. I get a lot of my dogs from the pound. Like my 16-year-old, he's from the shelter. Uh, my big boy over here, Bear, he's from the shelter. And then some of them, like I got my German Shepherd. I have a German Shepherd actually, but I don't know if she's mixed. I can't. I don't know her. She looks full blooded, but she could be mixed. Um, I don't want to call her over here because I got cords over here, and she likes to jump on stuff. Yeah, I think my uncle got bit by one too. A chow. It's in my memories somewhere, but like it's vague. I think he got bit like in the back of his knee or something like that, like right in the back of his leg. He got bit, big old chunk out of it. From what I remember, I think I remember that was what bit him. It was that or an Akita. So my uncle had Akitas, and I got attacked by one. It was my fault. So like I was being reckless. So like my uncle, he had this garage that was like set up like an actual bar. Like he had an actual bar top over there with alcohol behind it and couches and then like a pool table over here and a big back in the 90s, he had the big TV with the projectors that shot from the front, like it folded down and the projectors would shoot the picture up there. He had one of those big old things in his garage and like shelves full of magazines and stuff like that. Those kind. Yes, those kind. And purple tongue. Yeah, the black one that my grandma had a purple tongue with like black spots on it. It was weird. I've never seen dogs with tongues colored like that, other than like with the chows. And what was I saying about my uncle? Oh yeah, I was gonna when I got attacked by the Akita. So he had a doorway there where they took the door off and they just hung a blanket. So I just went like walking in there, and the dog, I guess, was laying on the other side, and I stepped on him, and he flipped out, and then he freaking grabbed me by the shoulder, and just started ragging me around, and that's like I just remember like all I was like like in a rodeo, I was on a bull, I was just ragged around, and all I could see was like everything was like just going everywhere, and I was like I couldn't even cry. I was like freaked out. I was like, what's going on here? What's happening to me? Like I was young. I was like 5, 6 years old. And then I just remember like it was over and I was like, I was all beat up, ragged around. My shirt was ripped. I was like, what just happened to me? And, and then I touched my shoulder because it hurt a little bit. It was stinging. And I felt the blood on me. And I was like, and when little kids see blood, then it's game over. Then I started bawling. I was like, oh my gosh. Then I started I was like freaking out just because of the blood. I could have had a hole straight through me as long as it wasn't bleeding and it wouldn't have bothered me. But once I saw the blood, I went crying to my mom, and she was next door. You guys are getting the whole life story at 10. All my traumatic experiences. Uh Yeah, but like I cried for like 5 minutes, and then like as bad as that was, like I wasn't even that phased by it. That was a bad. That was bad. Like I was ripped open. I had just teeth holes and like, but I didn't even go like to the doctor or nothing. Like back then, like put some mud on it. That's what my that's what everybody said. Just put some mud on it. You'll be fine. What's going on, Bernardo? I love pit bulls. Emotion and passion. What's going on? Uh the card was already won by Puddles, but I'm gonna have another giveaway soon. So put some 7 Up on it, some warm 7. Yo, that's what I lived on was like warm Sprite and 7 Up. Like we'd buy them and then just set them on like the curb, and if the ants didn't get to them, like we'd come back and drink them, and they'd be super hot. Yeah, I wish I had more to give, more Machamps to give away. Maybe I'll figure something out about that, like Kyle does. He's buying like vintage in bulk or something and giving it away. So I'll have to figure something out. But I like vintage cards, so I'll keep the I'll keep an eye out for stuff. I had something that was like a Beagle Pitbull mix. She was listed as a beagle from the pound because they don't like listing dogs if they're not full bred pit bulls or like obviously pit bulls. They don't like to list them as that because then people don't want to buy them. But she was she was a good dog, but I just had to get rid of her because she was tearing up the house. I don't think she was a fit for, but we kept in contact with the owner, so we get updates about her all the time, and that's a good thing because I like that because it tears me up to get rid of a pet because I get super attached to animals when I get them, and it tears me up to have to do it. In some cases, like it's just it messes with me. So like that's why like I really like gotta vet the dogs like, and it's hard to do that too. Like I went to the shelter when I got my first dog, and I left there crying because I couldn't take them all. Like all those dogs are just looking at me like I need a home, and that gets to me. Gets to me now because I know that a lot of those dogs didn't make it. It's Pokemon 10 OV, I think. Let me check. I don't check. Look, I don't check Discord like super often. Like I get on there sometimes just to be sure I don't got any messages. Look, I'll tell you right now, Discord confuses the crap out of me. I'm not gonna lie, it's confusing. Like when I click a chat and then like I click on one of the sub chats. Let me see what my name is. Pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, it's Pokemon 10 OV. Um, yeah, the shelter tears me up, man. To think, especially here in Vegas, because like there was one point in time where they had to make a uh so many people like neglect their pets. Like I understand sometimes pets get out, but people just neglect them here in this town. Like they just don't care about their animals because our shelter is always so packed. It's like there's no way this many people are like just it's an accident that you let your dog out and you don't even come looking for it. You know what I'm saying? So there was this one event. I don't want to call it an event because that makes it sound like it's a good thing. But there was this one instance where they had to put down like thousands of animals at once, and they had to make a statue and put it in the park to commemorate or honor that big of a loss of animals. Like, and to me, I was like, man, that's messed up. I think it was like 6,400 animals got put down at once. Like, just like cull the herd. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I mean, listen, I'm not a vegan, but I don't believe in wasting animals like that. Like, if an animal's gonna die, you better make use of it or something. Yeah, like the statue was like, oh, it's okay now. We got a statue to remember them. No, those pets should have had a home. See, I'm part Native American, so like my culture is meat consumption, but it's like honorable meat consumption. Like, it's not like wasteful. Like me, like when I and a lot of people don't do this. I know some people uh, aren't nose to tail eaters, but that's what I am. I consider myself because I'll eat everything from the animal, from the nose to the tail. I'll eat the tongue because I'm also part Hispanic, I guess you want to say, if that's not obvious. Um, like lengua, tacos, and stuff like that. And I guess that comes from both cultures. Is like both of those cultures are like nose to tail eaters. They'll eat everything. And there's some things I won't eat, like spleens. I won't eat those, and I won't eat intestines. There's no way I'm eating intestines. I'll eat tripe. I'll eat the stomach, but I won't eat intestines. It's just grody. That's just dookie. Um. So yeah, but that was like that made me mad when they put all those animals down. I was like, what? And like I said, like my German Shepherd, my wife was cruising around, and I guess this dog was like dodging traffic. This German Shepherd was just dodging traffic, like in the middle of the street. So my wife rolled down the window, and she jumped through the window, sat in the seat, was like, "All right, let's go home." So we kept her, and like I'm above the legal. Don't tell nobody. I'm not supposed to have this many dogs. I don't have the permit for it, but they need a home. And I have the space and I have the capacity to feed them and take care of them. I'm just not going to go get a kennel license because that's not what I am. I'm a pet owner. These are my family. I'm not here breeding dogs. I have 5 dogs and 2 cats. I have fish. I have a frog. I have like 900 snails that are just popping up. I had a snail. I didn't know. I didn't think this was a breed of snail that could reproduce on its own. I thought there was only like a few kinds. Oh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let me check it out. Oh, yeah, that's a little guy right there. A mini zoo. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And like sometimes I'm like, man, because my wife is a big dog lover. So that's where a lot of that comes from. But I mean, I love dogs too. I love them. But I just never wanted this many. If it was just me, I'd probably have like 2 dogs, not 5. But, you know, once they come into my house, it's like, I'm not letting you go. And that's why I try to set the limit for myself. But once a dog's in my house, it's not going anywhere from this point on. Like, so you got a nice little dog there. It actually, yeah, I can see the Shih Tzu for sure. because one of my coworkers has one, and they spoil that dog like crazy because they don't have. Well, they have kids. Each of them has kids, but together, their kids are all grown, so they don't have kids together. So they bought a dog to make it their kid, and they treat it like one. Put it in the stroller. They got it like a little for road trips and stuff like that. Little its own little seat for the vehicle. I'm not that kind of dog owner personally, but however people want to handle their dogs, that's their choice. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to treat it like a baby and put it in a stroller, go ahead. That's cool. Because dogs will accept that kind of lifestyle. Like especially little dogs. Like when you treat them like I mean, the Chihuahua like sleeps in our bed. It's like a big baby. My wife does that kind of stuff. Like lets it in the bed, treats it like it can sleep with us all the time. But other than that, the big dogs don't get in the bed. I mean, they'll sneak on there sometimes, but they get shooed off. Nope, you got your own bed. You guys got your own beds. Go sleep in them. Chow chow attitude. That's definitely an attitude. That is definitely it. Chihuahua always gets a special treatment. I don't know how that happens. Probably because you could hold it. See, like, you know, you can hold it like a baby. That's why. And if you got a wife or anybody that's ever had kids, that's what you know they always want to have. I don't understand that. Why would you want to go through that pain multiple times? I don't get it. I got 2 kids, and I'm like, my wife's always asking for more, and I'm like, why would you want to go through that again? That looks like the most painful thing in the world. You gotta be tough to want to do that. To want to do that to yourself. Nothing but respect. Nothing but respect for that aspect of women. If you want to keep having kids like that, that's crazy to me. It scares the crap out of me to even think of going through that. But yeah, the Chihuahuas get those special treatments because they're like little babies, and he acts like one too. But I always poke at him. He likes to he growls at me. Or when I come home at night because I come home late at 11 p.m. When I come home at night and I come home and I go to kiss my wife, he always growls at me. He's like, "Get the hell out of here! This is my time. This is my mom. Get away." I've been up since 7. I have a big problem with getting up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I have to be up till like midnight every freaking night. I don't know how I'm doing this. Yeah, he gets when my wife's not here, he's like my best friend, but when she's here, he treats me like the worst enemy. Isn't that funny? But he's always like he's trying to get up on me and be my best friend when my wife's not here. It's okay. All right, jerk. You little jerk. uh, you got no one else to love you, so you come to the last resort, which is me. That's cool, buddy. I'll remember that. Or when he can't get on the bed and I get him up there. This is the funny thing. When I get home and he's on the floor and he can't get up on the bed while she's asleep, he'll be jumping up the side of the bed, and then I'll pick him up, and then he'll turn around and growl at me. Like, get away from me. I'm like, okay, but I just did you the biggest favor, and you're gonna turn around and growl at me. Yeah, my first dog, our first family dog, I want to say, uh, I trained him, smartest dog. In one day, I from the pound, not even a full day, like it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon by the time we got home with him, and by the time it was nighttime, he knew how to sit, speak, lay down. He knew how to spin around. I taught him how to jump. So he would just like jump, and he could jump high back when he was young in his heyday. He learned all those tricks in one day. I was like, I was blown away. I'm not even a dog trainer. Like I didn't know anything about training dogs. I just went in there and I was like, hey, you want this treat? Sit. You want this treat? Lay down, speak, all that kind of stuff. I had to tell him speak, and then I had to bark to get him to learn it. So, and that's how he figured it out. He was like, oh, that's what you mean. I can do that. But he learned all that stuff. He's an amazing dog. And he's still here. 16 years old. This one don't bark a lot. It's just when he feels like I'm threatening him. Then he gets rough. He turns into a tough guy. Only when he's in his mama's hands. Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I have a special connection. I have a connection with a lot of things. Pokemon, Mortal Kombat, because when I go to my dad's on the weekend, we had the Sega and we play Mortal Kombat. Me and my dad, like those little bonding times that you have with your parents, like, and you don't get that very often. If you don't get that very often, like me, because I only saw my dad on the weekends, and so like those type of things are what kind of stick with you, and those little bonding things, like you kind of get obsessed with those things. And my dad was always Kano, and I was always like Scorpion, always. And my dad would kick my ass at that game, and he would never ever let me win. And that's a good thing, like because you can't just want to win and just win because someone lets you. That's not how things should be. I think you should always that always gave me the drive to want to beat him. You see what I'm saying? That was like a lesson learned. Like if I wanted to beat him at the game, I had to be better. And so I'd always try to get better at the game and learn all the moves and get obsessed with figuring out like the move sets, because back then it's not like you could just go online and look up all the moves, or they had the like in the newer games where you could just go to the move set list and figure. You had to learn them things on your own, and that was one of the beauties of it. But my dad would whoop my butt on that game. Yeah, I mean, my dad. I mean, like I had my kids when I was 19 years old. Same with my dad. So my dad was young when he had me. So it kind of like, and he was really immature as a young person, a young adult. So like he was into all that partying and rocking and type of stuff like that. So my dad was old school, but like not like. Oh, my dad was good at raiding too. I wasn't. I sucked at raiding. I always sucked at his moves. Like I could never get him down. But that's why I like Scorpion, because I could fade back like that. I love that move. I was kind of alright with Sub Zero. Sub Zero is like one of my second faves, but and yeah, Sub Zero. I mean, because they're Sub Zero, all the ninja dudes, like Reptile, all them guys kind of fall in line, like they come with the whole territory of liking any of the ninjas. To me anyways. Like when I like Scorpion, it's like, hey, all these other ninja dudes are pretty cool. Button mashers. You button masher. No, it's just keep freezing me. That's it. That was one of the. I think that was one of the few ways I beat my dad was to freeze him. At some point was to keep freezing him with Sub Zero, and then like in the old school game, like you freeze him and then like you jump forward and then I crouch down and try to uppercut at the same time. Like that was it. Just freeze, jump forward, crouch, uppercut. That was like the whole moves. That was all I did. Try to knock him into the pit. That was all I did. I was like, that was it. I probably still would do that. I mean, I have the newer games. I don't have what is it, 11? I don't have that one. I have MKX, right? That's 10. And then there's 11 out, right? But my son plays it. Like he took all my games because he has a thing in his room. Bro Lindo. Hey, did I send you tracking for your package or no? I think I keep forgetting to send tracking to everybody. My favorite arcade game was The Simpsons. Simpsons was so fun. That game, I wish I could find that game for sale. Like the actual arcade game, I'd probably buy it. Put it in my garage. I used to love that game. Just run around beating people with your skateboard and stuff like that. Okay. I don't even know. I haven't checked it in a minute. I'm gonna I'll see if I'll see if your thing's getting any closer to getting to you. All right, peace out, Razor. No, I probably won't be on for much longer because I gotta print the shipping label and I gotta take things to get shipped. I'll probably leave the house around 10 o'clock, which is like in an hour or maybe 11. Broke Ace and the Pokey Twins. What's up? You can call me 10. I usually go by 10. That's what or who you talking to? Are you talking to me or Pokey twins as Pokey? Yeah, I mean, I don't got much going on. I don't have a background yet or anything like that. I actually rearranged my whole room so that I could set up for streaming. And now I got to kind of figure out Streamlabs and all that kind of stuff. 10 or 10, the number 10, or write it, spell it out. It doesn't matter. People usually just call me 10. Um, yeah, I'm trying to figure out the whole streaming aspect. I got to get my camera ready because this is just a FaceTime camera. This ain't nothing special. Um, I got to get my table camera like aiming down so I can do the cards and stuff like that. And like I said, I got to figure out Streamlabs because it's giving me a lot of problems with, yeah, for Las Vegas. Streamlabs on a Mac is not fun to deal with on Apple products, that's for sure. I wish I had a more up to date OBS Studio. You think it's easier? Well, the thing is, when I try to go live on Streamlabs, and I don't know if that's going to happen in OBS Studio. When I try to go live on Streamlabs, it just takes me to the web page and has me go live from there. And then it says down at the bottom of Streamlabs, it says your channel's not set up for streaming. But here I am streaming. So I don't get what's going on there. I'm streaming directly through YouTube though. I'm not using the app. When I get a burrito. I can eat. I'll tell you that right now. I can eat. Everybody at work, when they see me eat, they're like, they go down and take one bite of their burger. Like we'll all be eating burgers or something, and I'll have everything gone. And they'll come back up and they'll be like, "Where the hell did your food go? Where did your food go? You're lying if you said you ate it." Well, that's exactly what I want to get a Windows, but like to spend the money on that right now, I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, if you're that's a problem for a lot of people that move here is they figure out gambling and then they lose their whole life. They lose their whole life. For people like me, like I was born here. I was born and raised here. And so from the jump, I was already taught like you don't get addicted to gambling type of thing. Don't do it. Sports, I mean, that's a whole different ball game. Like if you're good at sports, then go ahead and bet your money. Like if you understand the game very well, bet away because you probably have a better chance of winning sports betting than you would like playing slot machines. Um, and if you're good at table games, then play that. But slot machines, if you get addicted to the slot machines, that's where you're gonna lose your life, your livelihood. I died twice in Vegas. What was it from? Alcohol and heat stroke? Because that's usually what usually happens here is that you yeah, some alcohol poisoning and some heat stroke. Those two go well together. No, I haven't collected anything from Power Rangers before. Well, I have to check my toy box. I pulled it in from the garage. I might have some Power Rangers in there still. But I used to have the little motorcycle from like the original Power Rangers, like from the Red Ranger. his motorcycle. But I don't have any card game stuff from Power Rangers. I used to love the Power Rangers. I used to get up every morning and jump off the couch, eating my gummies before school and thinking I'm a Power Ranger. I used to like do jump kicks off the back of the couch and pretend like I'm killing putty monsters or whatever they called them back then. You know what I'm saying? I even had Power Ranger birthday party when I was a kid. Like my mom actually hired like Power Rangers to come, like 3 of them. It was legit. I ain't gonna lie. And I have it on VHS. I have it recorded. My whole party. Maybe we'll see some young 10. If I could get, I got to take the VHS and get them transferred over to like a DVD or something. Because how am I going to, so that I can put that stuff online? How am I going to get a VHS to my TV or to my computer? Ninja Turtles. I got Ninja Turtles too. I got some old Ninja Turtles toys. I definitely saw those in there. And my son, he has my big tall figure. I have a big tall vintage Ninja Turtles figure, like the tall one. And he came. I don't have the nunchucks anymore, but he came with those. I don't have those anymore though. I don't know where those went. I think somebody stole them. Because, like I said, I used to live with kids that would come in my room with me, pretending to be my friend and steal my stuff. I remember one time my stepmom yelled at me because I traded one of my really nice Hot Wheels cars for a piece of junk. Hot Wheels. You know what else I got? I got a bunch of tech decks still, old tech decks. But when I looked at them, I painted on them. Can't believe I painted over all my stuff. I used to love painting on all my toys. That's what the problem was. I would get those model car paints in the little glass jars, and I would paint a lot of my stuff. I painted my Game Boy Color. I painted it. I painted like all my RC cars. I painted half my toys. Late 70s. I wasn't even alive then. Or the early 80s. I was born in 88. I wasn't there. I wasn't there in the early 80s. I was I was I was an 80s baby, but I broke into the 90s type of thing. Like a Power Ranger. I was just jumping off my couch. Hey, there's something about it, man. When you see paint, you just want to paint things. Like I had free range of all my paint, like all the paint that I can get my hands on, and nobody ever said anything to me. So I painted as much stuff as I could. And you know what else was cool? Well, not cool, but well, yeah, it was cool. But what's funny is like when I was a kid, I used to go. I wanted because like I saw Terminator when I was little, and so like like when the face peels off and you can see half the robotic face. So I'd do that to all my toys. I'd go and I'd raid the kitchen of all the aluminum foil, and I would wrap like sections of my toys in aluminum foil so that they could be like cyborgs. That's how I was as a kid. I would just like wrap toys like I'd even like Transformers. I would do it to my Transformers toys. I'd wrap them and wrap their arm in aluminum foil so that they'd have one metallic arm. Like, oh gosh, oh yeah, I've been there. I bought some things from that store. I bought my wife a ring from there, like I think it was silver ring. And I've looked at some of their things there, but they're really pricey. Yeah, when you get big and famous like that, you get pricey, and it's not a big store. That store is tiny. Like the way they make it look in the show, it's like they make it look like 10 times bigger than it is. Like you walk in, and it's just a straight line and two counters, and then there's another little line like this that goes to where you pay, and that's it. But in the show, they make it look huge compared to what it is. You walk in, and you're like 20 feet this way, and that's it. And then you come back this way, and it's like 10 feet that way, and that's it. And then you can go out the door. Those guys are hardly ever there. I know I talked to Rick on the phone because I was trying to sell something that I had. I talked to Rick on the phone, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not interested in that." I was like, "All right," because I'm not either. That's why I'm trying to sell it. But I don't think those guys aren't really there that often. I think they're mostly there for the show if they're going to film, and then they're pretty much probably out having a good time, letting everybody else work. Drampa Tony. Is it just me, or does Drampa look like uh the dragon from what's his name, Falcor from Neverending Story? Here's this little dog again. The one that's my best friend when my wife's not here. He's over here looking at me. He's up on my knee, just looking at me like all sad looking. Yeah, Drampa looks like Falcor from Neverending Story, which is cool. I kind of like that because that's another movie that was like, it was weird for me as a kid, but like it was really interesting. That was a weird movie. That and like Pan's Labyrinth and things like that. Those were like weird movies. Or who's seen the movies like, these movies are corny, but like Trolls? Have you seen those old school movies? Those movies were. I just recently saw them, and I was like, man, like when I was a kid watching those movies, they seem so realistic, and now when you watch them like these, like as an adult, you're like, that's so corny. It's like Godzilla, like the old Godzilla movies. Like as a kid, I didn't realize that they were just like looping like the same thing. Like when Godzilla would fall on his back and roll around, it was just like a loop of like a 10-second clip where like, and you could see it actually skip. But as a kid, I didn't see that. No UPCs yet, but I'm atomic trading. If you guys have seen that video about me talking about atomic trading, they're gonna let me know when they get more, and I'll even take off work. I'm gonna have to call in work if they do them like midday, but I'll definitely go down there and get one. But they're gonna let me know when they have them again. Bro, Lindo, I can't wait till your package gets there. I want to see you open your stuff, see what you get. Because I haven't I don't remember what I put in everybody's thing. I just grabbed a tin and I put them in the bags, and then I went kind of in order and just shipped them out. So some of the card there's like some of the tins had the same cards, but some of them also had different cards as well. So I want to see what you guys got because I don't know what everybody got, whoever won, and I kind of forgot what I put in there. I know there's some like promos and stuff like that, some other things, and some vintages in some of them. Was it called? Was the original one was called The Labyrinth? Oh, what was that movie? Something of Virtue. It had those kind of like puppet looking. You know what I'm talking about? Something of Virtue. Was it kangaroos or something? What was it? I remember that movie. That one was another creepy one. Spaceballs, yeah. Um, Warriors of Virtue. That's what it was called. Warriors of Virtue. I typed in kangaroos of virtue and it pulled it up as Warriors of Virtue because it's that's all I remembered it as was like some like kangaroo looking things. Like movies back then, like in the 90s and before, like 90s and back, always had like weird how can I enlarge this picture? Where'd the picture go? Let me try another one. Let me download the image and I'll just open it. Oh, here, let me just show you like right there. Yeah, Warriors of Virtue. I'm gonna have to show my kids like old movies like that so they can understand where I came from. That movie, those like the costumes, like I mean, those are like I kind of actually like those more than like using the CGI so much. You know what I'm saying? Like these days, like let's take like the Chucky movie for instance. Like when they did Chucky and the way they made that doll animatronic and stuff like that, it made it more real. It made it scary as hell. Or when they'd actually like build like a whole like body out of like latex and stuff like that and add like add like oils to make it look so real and then they'd smash it and like and make it look like it was actually like a body exploding and stuff like nothing beats that. I wish they would use that more often in like newer movies because I know they could do that and incorporate some of the CGI to kind of like add to the effect but still make it look more realistic than just CGI nonsense. And not only that, like it would like provide more jobs to people that do that kind of work. You know what I'm saying? Like all the Stan Winstons of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like that that guy was like a pioneer of just making props and But yeah. Well, you guys, I should probably wrap it up. As much as I want to sit here all day, because I'd rather do this than go to work. But I got to get this label printed. I got to get this stuff out in the mail. I got to get ready to go and probably go hunt for some Pokemans. Pokemans. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Broke Ace. And everybody else, thank you guys for stopping by. Just kind of having fun talking about regular stuff. It's always fun to interact. And then there we go, getting another person joining. Yeah. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna hopefully I'll find something. I'm gonna check Walmart's today, I think is a good day to check Walmart's. Target had their drop like midweek last week, so I don't think they're gonna have one on Monday or Tuesday. So we're gonna probably check for Wednesday or Thursday for Target. But peace out, everybody. Whoever just joined, thanks for joining. But the stream's about to be over. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody. Oh, I got a sixth one too. Man, people like to show up when you're get ready to go, huh? All right, peace out, everybody. I gotta end it. End.